Hey, welcome to the range. Welcome back to the range. So now we have So the Rossi that I've been building and painting. We're finally at the range today with it. Right now we're at 25 yards. Step one is at the range was getting it sighted in. I did that off camera. Step two is now finding which which cartridge it likes the most, so that we can then walk it back to the different ranges. Remember, the goal here is to get this one as accurate as we can at 200 yards. It's a little bit breezy today. The wind is actually blowing in towards us, so it'll mess with the sound you guys are hearing, but it won't actually mess with ballistics very much. And as always, I'll try to time my shots to where the wind isn't a factor. So I've got this, this will be the first video at the range. I've got 16 different cartridges of 22 Magnum that I've been testing. I've got it broken up into two groups of 8. Once we get that done and we find out which one it likes, then we will start going back to the different distances. Right now we've got a collection of CCIs, Hornadys, and Winchesters that we're going to be doing on this one. So got the same middle target down there. We got the same 2-inch target circles that we've always done. I know you can't see it, but same parameters that we've been using for all these other tests. So if you go back and watch that first Fiocchi one, you'll know all about how we've been doing this test. If you've been watching all of these 22 Magnum tests, then you know exactly how it's been done. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, up first we've got the Hornady Critical Defense. These are a 45 grain FTX bullet. Now these are specifically designed for handguns, but we've been shooting them out of the rifles, so let's see how these do. All right, let's do the next one. All right, Hornady 30 grain VMAX. Now these, through the other guns, have performed the best as far as accuracy goes. So let's see how they do in this thing. Next up are the Winchester dyno points. Now, assuming that you guys that are watching now have been following all of my other magnum testing videos, you know I cannot stand these. These are the worst shooting shells that I've ever fired in my life. Bar none. These are by far the worst. Let's see how they like this gun. Wait till you see what I can see through the scope. If you are relying on dyno points, you need to stop, throw them in the trash, and go buy some real cartridges. That's rough. All right, next up, got another thing of Winchesters. These are the Varmint HV. They're a 30 grain polymer tip VMAX bullet, 2,250 feet per second. All right, next we've got CCI Maxi Mags. These are 40 grain jacketed hollow points, 1,875 feet per second. Next up, another CCI Maxi Mag. These are 40 grain total metal jackets. Okay, next up, we've got the CCI TNT Green. These are the lead-free bullets, 30 grain, going at 2,050 feet per second. If you remember from the other videos, they perform pretty well. I was actually pleasantly surprised by these. Let's see how they do in the Rossi. Okay, the last ones for this video. These are the CCI HP Plus V. They're jacketed hollow points, 30 grain, so a 30 grain bullet moving 2,200 feet per second. All right, let's go get the target and see. All right, now let's go over all the data. Just the eye test. Looks like those Hornady VMAXs are going to be the best. Here's your dyna points. Ended up being a little bit better. That very first shot I took was way up here. None of these are very good. Well, strike that. A couple of them are very good. This one. But let's do, as we move back and open up, the groups open up, I think that we'll see most of these aren't going to work. But let's do some measurements here. So the vertical here is 0.8. Horizontal is actually pretty good. So the horizontal is 0.375. Moving over to these, the Hornady VMAX. Looking at a vertical of looking at a vertical of 0.375 inches and a horizontal of 0.435, so just under, horizontal just under a half an inch. Your dyna points. Okay, so let's talk about measuring the dyna points. That is insane. Now that may just be an outlier, but it's right at 4 inches. Now if we just do these 4, you're talking about just a smidge. It's 0.625. Horizontal, you're looking at horizontal 0.75, so 3/4 of an inch. Now your vertical on these Winchester Varmint HVs is actually really good. They probably had the best up and down. So they had a vertical of 0.375. The horizontal though of 0.875. CCI's the jacketed hollow points here have a vertical of 1.125 inches. And a horizontal of 0.75. Now the total metal jackets have a vertical of 1 inch and a horizontal of 1 inch. The greens have a vertical of 0.75 and a horizontal of 0.75. And lastly, these plus V's I mean, it's just a smidge under an inch. It's 9/10 of an inch. And the horizontal is 1.25 inches. Okay, so round one is done. The only ones that I think that I could trust, I'm looking at the target down here. If I was going to hunt with this rifle, honestly, if it's not the 30 grain VMAX, those were on this test the most accurate out of the rifle. The CCI greens were next. They were 3/4 of an inch both ways, vertical and horizontal. At 25 yards, I don't know, out of the other rifles, a lot of these rounds were all touching. We were getting, 1/8 of an inch groups, 1/4 of an inch groups out of a lot of these. So we'll see. Starting out, the whole question was, can you turn this rifle into a poor man's or cheaper version of a long distance accurate rifle? I already have some things to share, but I think I'll save that to another video. There are things that lend itself to me saying, no, I don't think it's going to happen. But we'll see. We've got more cartridges to fire and more distances to cover. So as always, thanks for watching. Would appreciate it if you click that like button. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and set the alarm so that you always get notified when I put out a new video. We'll see you next time.